It's me again, Dmitry Salita, and if you're looking to take your fight game to the next level, try this, the Fighter Stack. Everything you need.
Is there any promoters or promotional outfits that are in danger of going out of business because of this?
Yeah, I mean, I think that obviously depending how long it lasts, but you know, all promotional outfits have that are functioning at a good capacity. Have overhead, um, and obviously have fighters. Some fighters that that make a lot of money, they can survive for some time, but other guys, 4, 6, 8, even 10 round fighters that are not really elite, they're looking for that payday a couple of times a year so they can pay their bills and just stay, stay above board. So uh, it's just it's important that that things can resume in a healthy way and not drag on for too long, because if it drags on for too long, I believe that and obviously, and also boxing is internationally connected these days. I mean, the world's a small place, so I mean, even on mid-level shows, you have fighters from different countries fighting one another. So travel becomes an issue. We had Abdi Daftaev here in Detroit, and he called the last plane going back to Russia. He almost couldn't leave. So we have Georgia Khan Argashik, who's from Uzbekistan. He was going to fight on Clarissa's undercard. We're just getting ready to, in a televised fight and a significant fight. But what happens if he can't get here? Clarissa was supposed to fight Marie Dicaire, who's from Canada. If the borders are closed, those fights can't happen. So there's many issues, surrounding this that affect the industry in a really big way.
Yeah.
Tyson Fury, versus Deontay Wilder.
They got pushed back.
They got pushed back. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I've been thinking about how this could affect promoters and like the business of boxing, and if it could in any way, like, we see people going out of business because of it. And I don't know.
There's not a lot of boxing people that's all they do. Many folks function and have decent fighters and they're involved in other things. But boxing is driven by the folks that live this 24/7. That's really what drives the business and what makes it progress to the next level. So so yeah, if this lasts for too long, there are definitely going to be some challenges. And even though fights can happen in the studio, there's nothing like going to a fight and experiencing the energy of fans and the energy of fighters and just being being in that atmosphere. There's nothing like it. So this is a really, really challenging time. And I hope and pray that we'll come out of this sooner than later. And I know that smart people from all over the world are looking for cures and for different ways that we can beat this sooner than later.
Yeah, and you got to feel for the guys like you mentioned that are 6, 8, 10 round fighters that are living at this point. They're not making too much money. They are going check by check, and you got to think. They're independent contractors. Are they available for aid? Are they going to get any sort of assistance? They're kind of in a weird position too.
And they're legally self-employed, many of them. So what kind of aid are they available? Is available for them. So yeah, like when the lights go out, you start thinking about. I was in New York City. I think it was in 2003 or 2004, maybe 2002. I don't remember when the whole city lost energy, and like people that worked in Manhattan and lived in Brooklyn, couldn't get home. The trains weren't working, the buses weren't working. So it's like you realize how much we rely on things that we take for granted, and when something like this happens, I mean, this is such a dire and terrible situation. realize how many things you take for granted, that just kind of, that you think are just there, and obviously very grateful for the medical personnel and for folks in the medical field that are working day and night to help the sick and to hopefully find a way to deal with this in a long-term way.